You're asking me what I brought to the character, and I can't answer that. That's a very subjective question. Um, I I bring me, but I bring that little piece of me that seems to understand what being a 2030-year-old Jeannie is. Now, someone else's perception of a 2030-year-old Jeannie would be entirely different, but I don't know what those elements are that I have inside of me. I just do it. Oh, right away. Right away, I related to her. And it is really a fish out of water kind of script, which is wonderful to play. Uh, I think it's the best character I've had to play ever. Outside of maybe Harper Valley PTA, she was a wonderful character too, Stella. But Jeannie, golly, an actor dies for a part like this where you can just pull out all the stops, and it was a very physical part too, which was kind of fun. That costume wasn't revealing. It was just an illusion. I know I've had so many people say um, they've always tried to make something out of the fact that she was living with a man, they weren't married, she was running around in her nightie. Well, it wasn't. It was what she wore in her day. That was her dress. That was her uniform, I used to like to call it. And he wasn't living with a woman. This was a wisp of smoke. She was from another world, another time, another plane even. She wasn't a human being. So why would anyone object to this freak living with him? It had nothing to do with being a woman. But the funny thing was, she thought she was. She thought she was. And as long as she thought she was, that was hysterical, because she wasn't. And he knew she wasn't. Oh, she had unlimited powers, unless there was another Jeannie who was stronger than she was. She couldn't get out of enclosed places, though. If you got her in an enclosed place, she was stuck. She could do nothing. But once she was out, she could do anything she wanted to, unless somebody from back home came in and put the kibosh on her, which they did every once in a while. Or her sister got the better of her. Her sister, darling, just couldn't stand the little wimp. you know. She wasn't a woman. She wasn't a woman. There was no lesson there about feminism or blah, 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 or women's rights. She was doing her job as a genie, and she did it very well. It had nothing to do with a man-woman relationship. This was, and she called him master, but honey, who was the real master there, you know? She, she was on top of the world. It was so silly. So many people have done that to me in interviews and things, for magazines or television, and said, well, she was subjective to him, and no, she wasn't his subject. She was his equal. But she was his equal as a genie, and she did her job as a genie, and she did it very well. The smoke, Jeannie's smoke, in one shot went under the door into Anthony Nelson's bedroom, and NBC saw it, and the censor said, oh, no, 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 her smoke can't stay in the bedroom. It has to come out again. So we had to reshoot it. Where the smoke went in, he said, Jeannie, get out of here. And then you see the smoke coming out from underneath the door. That was Gene Nelson. He thought of that. He thought of the blink being the vehicle. He was wonderful. He really was. A very physical director. One of the first shows we did, he had me jumping from an armchair to a sofa and then onto Larry's lap like this on my stomach, with my head up. And we did it 2 or 3 times, and for whatever reason they couldn't shoot it. And the 4th time, of course, I broke my tooth on Larry's knee. Poor Larry, poor me. I mean, we were blood all over the place. But it was fun.